to another episode of Sports to Songs podcast. We're on season 4, episode number 38. Hello, Andy, and welcome to the show.
How are you today?
Good. It's episode 38. This is the songs edition. We're going to do an album review, talk some music, concerts, a lot of musical heavy metal nonsense.
Yeah.
Today is August 2nd, 2023, and we're going to talk some music. So,
not exactly a hair band, but heavy metal.
Yeah, we've got an interesting band. You know, the band we're going to cover tonight is the Scorpions, and we've only done one of their albums. We've been on the show on the air here 4 years.
We have not shown the Scorpions the love they deserve.
So we're going to try to get them up there. Thanks again for folks giving recommendations and requests coming through, and we're going to cover a little Scorpions. Tonight's album review is Animal Magnetism. Animal Magnetism. Now, here's the album cover. Remember this, getting this from the store in 1980? I did not buy this album. In fact, I just did the review and listened to all the songs here this week on many of the songs I'd never even heard before. But there's, of course, the popular ones. Now, Animal Magnetism is the 7th studio album by German rock band Scorpions. Released in 1980, it went platinum. Now, right away, it went gold, and over the years, it reached platinum status by the year 1991. The album cover was created by Storm Thorgerson of the design group Hypnosis. And we've covered these guys before. Hypnosis has done other work with other rock bands. They've also done some earlier Scorpion album sleeves. They tend to court controversy, right? Sometimes that's what they want.
Yeah. Push that envelope.
But unlike several other of their album sleeves, the controversy did not result in the cover being replaced with an alternative sleeve. Recalling the cover photo, Thorgerson remarked, "That one was funny. I didn't think we figured it out. We just knew there was something in there, that was something rude in there somewhere." So that's what Storm says. He says, "I don't think we figured it out." Well, he designed it, and their firm created this, so of course they knew what they were talking about, right? And so what are your thoughts on the album cover, Andy?
Well, one thing, first of all, I'll have some more stuff in my bits, but the most embarrassing thing to me about that album cover is at that time I had the same pair of pants he's wearing. Kind of embarrassing. A little embarrassing there.
This is 1980, so we're not all surprised.
Yeah, I had the same pants. I'm embarrassed. But I'm getting more into the cover there, but their covers were just so... It wasn't just, oh, here's the band on the cover. Here's girls falling out of their tops on the cover. It was a little different, which was kind of neat about it. Kind of neat about the Scorpions. Their covers were kind of their thing.
And I'm not one who likes bland or just boring covers. So I've always loved the Scorpions ones and ones like this that this cover, this photo wouldn't go over well in today's politically correct world. But you've got an Animal Magnetism cover with a strong man wearing jeans, holding a bottle of beer with his hand in his back rear left pocket, with an obedient dog looking at him, and his obedient wife on her knees looking up. Like a very subservient look, very, what it's pushing is the, what's it called when it's non?
He's the master and they're the
master and slave. It's also objectifying, very objective. Yeah. Like, you're not a woman, you're not a female, but you are a thing to me, much like my dog. So this wouldn't fly today's world, but back then, this is what they wanted, and this is what they wanted to get some controversy to express and to get this out there. Not saying that they agreed or wanted this on the cover, but going to generate controversy.
Well, if it was a rap album, maybe they'd get away with it. But
so it's they came up with the title first. Francis Buchholz came up with the title called Animal Magnetism. And they said that they all liked it because it's an interesting title. And this guy came in who was doing some covers for Pink Floyd, album covers, that is. And, so they did this. Buchholz says, personally, I didn't like it, but the rest of the band loved it. So he says, I like the dog, though.
Yep.
So there's some tongue in cheek there, but it's a very subjective cover, and it is what it is. This was 1980, so these are guys singing, sexist rock songs.
Yep.
Here's the track listing. Number one song is "Make It Real." Make It Real. Good lyrics
Yep.
there. I like that. Song two is "Don't Make Promises." In parentheses, following that, it says promises that your body can't keep. Gotta love that. And
Yep.
these are some kind of Gene Simmons kind of a lyrics, maybe.
Yes, that's good.
Yes.
Good analogy. Yeah.
You've got some good analogies, some high school, junior high themes here. Song three is "Hold Me Tight." Song four is "20th Century Man," and song five, "Starlight," Lady Starlight. They released that as their first single from this album, Lady Starlight, kind of a slow ballad.
Yep.
Next song is "Falling in Love." Song seven is "Only a Man." Song eight is the popular song "The Zoo." Song nine is called "Animal Magnetism." Very different. And I've seen some comments after looking at that song. It's close to a 6-minute song. It's very dark. It's got a feel for kind of an Alice in Chains feel to it.
Yeah.
People have commented saying that's where they were, caught on. Some of their music sounds like that. It does not sound like the Scorpions. Now, the best song, but didn't come out until the CD remastered edition 2001, is "Hey You." It came out on the Best of Rockers and Ballads back in 1989, but this appears as song 10 on this one. If you get it now in 2001, it's "Hey You," another very popular song. Now, here's the personnel. Vocals, Claus Mine, Rudolf Schenker.
Michael Schenker's brother.
Rudolf Schenker. And so his brother was Michael Schenker, right?
Yep, they were both originally members of the Scorpions.
Okay. And who I really got to respect listening to this album is Matthias Jabs, lead guitar.
Yep.
Very good work. To this day, he's running a record store in Germany, a music store, new and used guitars, a store. He's selling things. You can go into the store there, and he's working behind the shop desk there. Matthias Jabs. And then Francis Buchholz on bass. And Herman Rarebell. Great name for drummer, Herman Rarebell. So, Andy, it went platinum. That song 5 is "Lady Starlight," includes the horn section with arrangements and strings, a double bass, an oboe, cello, double bass, a viola, French horns. That's a good trivia question, Andy. It's the only song ever that Scorpions have ever recorded that includes string section.
Yes. They were pretty good at the power ballads too.
Yeah, those ballads were pretty good. And back then there wasn't really music videos, but there was promotional videos made for some of the songs they released, and I watched them as well. They're performing on a kind of a stage in a Hollywood set or something, whatever it is. But it's kind of corny, it's kind of weird, but it is what it is. This was 1980. There was no MTV, and once again, this album went platinum. Now, the album before this was Love Drive. That's the one we did before. And then the following subsequent album was Blackout. What are your thoughts on this album?
Well, I'll flip up my stuff there. I'll show you my take on it, if you will.
Here it is. We're going to launch it now.
3, 2, 1. Here we go.
There we go.
That's us. That's got a picture of the album cover. Just first of all, the album cover, I liked it because it could be for a movie, Harlequin book. It could be anything. So that's where when you just see this cover, that intrigues you right there. Oh, what's this? Oh, it's an album. Okay, what album is this? And that alone should intrigue you right there, I thought. The Zoo. That was their popular song they released off of it. And the Zoo, I think about songs like that is, it's not really a ballad. It's not really a rock song. It's just a good, or heavy metal song. It's just a good rock song. And that's what the Scorpions did. They do their heavy metal songs. And they do a few songs like the Zoo, which is kind of just a good rock song. Then the ballads. So you get all three genres of rock and roll in there. And they pulled it all off. And if you listen to these guys today, The guitarists, Rudolph and Klaus, are the only two guys still in the band, and they're both in their mid-70s, and they're both still hitting it out of the park when they perform.
Yeah, and that's a good point to add, because I assumed they were all in their 60s, like most of aging rockers of bands that we cover. But these
They're
guys,
like late to the party in the 80s when they got popular. They're like 10 years older than everybody else.
I did not know that. They're in their mid 70s now. These guys started in 1965. The Minnesota Twins were busy playing World Series when these guys were first forming their band. Wow.
So, good for them on that. That, very fun to listen to them there. You speak of MTV, it was 42 years ago yesterday MTV started. And there's their first 5 videos they played.
Okay.
Video Killed the Radio Star by the Buggles. You Better Run by Pat Benatar. So a female artist was the number 2 video right off the bat.
Okay.
She Won't Dance With Me by Rod Stewart. You Better You Bet by The Who. And Little Susie's On the Up by PhD.
Interesting.
I believe that's the same cover of Little Susie that Tesla does.
Tesla. Yes.
What? Tesla did a cover of someone's songs?
Very well, too.
Yes. More stuff I got. Some new releases. Not per se albums, because kind of in that genre, as much as we like albums, some guys are just putting songs out on Spotify, which is fine. Duro did a release of her cover of Judas Priest's Living After Midnight with Rob Halford on there. So Rob Halford doing another duet with someone. Rob's just out there all over the place.
Rob's the man.
The metal god. Duff McKagan of Guns N' Roses did shares his punky new single, I Saw God on 10th Street. I guess he's done like a few albums already, just kind of he sneaks about in between stuff. So Duff's got his solo stuff out there if you're interested. Look him up on your Spotify machine.
Another former Seattle native.
Yes. Actually, I think he still lives out there.
He might.
And I just want to let you know that you're going to hate the next Lou Bryan single. I guarantee it. I saw this meme. I thought that was great.
That's a very good meme.
Classic. I had to bring it up there. That's us living in the past. Some concert information coming up now. Smells Like the 90s is going to be playing out at the Main Street Bar in Hopkins, 814 Main Street.
Okay.
Coming up on Saturday, August number 12. Free Fallin' with Stuart Hart, the 2023 tour, Tom Petty tribute show. Saturday, October 14th, out at the Medina.
Interesting.
Buck Cherry with LA Guns. This would be a cool show. Here's some tour dates. Sioux Falls, August 13th. The 15th in Fargo. The 16th in Mankato. Now, that's a drive from Fargo to Mankato in one night. They're going to be hauling. So,
And for the local listeners here, that Mankato show is an outdoor amphitheater.
yes.
And to see Buck Cherry, I think that would be obviously very good. But LA Guns and, Tracy Guns outdoors in Mankato. Listen to some Black Diamonds, their latest album. That's very intriguing.
So there you go there. And Dustin Bones, the Guns N' Roses cover, and Theater of Pain, the Motley Crue cover, are doing a free show August 4th. That's just a couple days at St. Croix. And then you might as well stay there for the next night for the outdoor show arena, opening up for a band called Hairball.
Wow.
$20 for that show. The other night, it's free. So 4 bands, 2 nights, $20.
Yeah, you really can't go wrong.
If you're get the room at St. Croix, spend the weekend.
Yes, that's a hoot. We've covered 2 of those bands, and we've seen Hairball already this year live.
So there we go.
Great show.
I think we can say friends of the show, all of them there.
Oh yes.
And some more news I got for you here. Just a couple other tidbits. Pete Best was the original drummer of the Beatles in 1965. He released an album called Best of the Beatles that contained no Beatle music. He was investigated for consumer fraud, but unfortunately, the case was dropped because no fraud had been committed. After all, he was best of the Beatles.
Oh my! Now that
is marketing.
Love it.
Genius. Marketing.
I
genius.
love it. He did nothing wrong.
Could you imagine that in today's society?
Oh.
And you could Look at John Lennon, like a young John Lennon and George and Paul over there, and Pete. Pete.
And
Yeah.
1965, the Scorpions were being formed at this very time. I
Yeah.
can't get that through my head.
Yes. And look at all the leather and long hair at the time for these boys here.
Wow.
And one more note to bring up. It's not really songs related, but it's still entertainment. We'll bring it up. Pee Wee Herman passed away this week. Paul Rubens.
Yes.
Great comedic actor. Now, did he do some stupid shit and get arrested? Yes. We're not going to cover that, but yeah, he did. Pee Wee had an odd sense of humor. You kind of had to be in the mood for Pee Wee's humor. You couldn't just turn it on and laugh. But if you were in the mood for some booger jokes and dumb stuff, fine. Now, kind of like with Weird Al's VH1, Pee Wee had a TV show and a movie, and some people did become famous after that. In Pee Wee's Playhouse, Cowboy Curtis was played by Lawrence Fishburne.
I did not. And
I think
that. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. If you go back and then Captain Carl was Phil Hartman. Phil Hartman did a lot of stuff with Pee Wee. Pee Wee was kind of an offshoot of a Saturday Night Live bit. All the Pee Wee stuff you saw Phil Hartman in. And then Ruby the Mail Lady, the gal there that played her, she's also on Law and Order SVU, and she was on Chicago Med as the head of the hospital there. So she's taking very serious drama roles after being on Pee Wee's Playhouse, which is my homework assignment. Go back, look at Pee Wee's Playhouse. Find it on YouTube. Pee Wee's Big Adventure, the movie, where he's got a big dumb bicycle and does the dance, tequila dance. Good humor. You got a rainy day or a snowy day, you need a laugh, look up one of the Pee Wee things. If you watch the movie, take a half hour and watch an episode out of your life, worth the laugh.
It's like Beavis and Butthead or SpongeBob. I'm not saying they're similar, but you have to be in the right frame of mind to get that or to appreciate it. Some will not like any of the three, but
right.
They're good stuff. They're good. He was, and what he did, he had kind of the monopoly on that whole market cornered of just being a goofball idiot.
Yeah, some others tried to tag onto it. They just weren't as good. I can't think of any names right now offhand, but Paul Rubens will be missed. He kind of made a slight comeback. Even him as Paul Rubens in the 80s and 90s did some TV appearances just as himself. Kind of like RuPaul has done his drag character and then been himself on TV shows too. Same thing. Played both characters. So Pee Wee Herman passes away, but in honor of him in the next couple of weeks, just as you're flipping through YouTube stuff, after you watch this show on YouTube, of course, go check out Pee Wee. It's kind of some good humor there, but that's what I got, sir.
It's good stuff. Pee Wee's like the opposite of Pee would be like a Andrew Dice Clay, a male masculine, from the best of all. And Pee Wee's just a small, scrawny dude, but it's like Weird Al Yankovic in the music industry. Same kind of a deal. Very good, very smart, intelligent. And funny. Now, the only thing I've got left on the Scorpions, Andy, is this.
Yep.
There was two notes I was going to mention, but I forgot. The length of this album, once again, 39 minutes and 10 seconds. It's considered hard rock / heavy metal.
Yep.
Keep in mind that's 1980, version of what you call it. And the producer was Dieter Dierks.
Yes.
Who did a lot of stuff. I don't know much. Do you have any more on him?
Dieter did he did all the Scorpion albums for like a 9-year period there. Pretty German-based guy. Very good. Worked almost exclusively with the Scorpions. Well liked, obviously, if he was with one band for a while, which is really weird because as other bands we've covered, they said, they brought in this producer for this album, and they brought in this producer for that album. Other guys, Scorpions had Dieter, boom, 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 boom. So they must have had some kind of click there where he got them. He knew what they did, and he understood them. And
the songs sound good. They're very tight. All the albums, they're all good stuff. But there's some good songs on this album. I'm gonna go back and listen to a couple of those again, because it kind of piqued my interest here, but you got to love the zoo.
But a lot of people say a lot of Scorpion albums all sound alike, which I'm okay with though.
Yeah,
I like that sound. I like that sound.
It's
AC/DC
not like
made a career of.
Aerosmith sound the same, but kind of like Scorpions sound the same, I guess. I could go with that. Hey You is the other song. It's the But anytime you can get the Schenker brothers on some of these albums, and Klaus Meine, very good vocalist. He was listed on some top 25 male hard rock vocalist of all time, and
number 22 of top
people
100
tend
vocalists.
to forget him. Little guy,
Yep.
he could ring it out.
And one of the few guys I think he's been married to the same gal since the mid 70s. You know, what rocker can say that?
No, very little. But that's all I've got for this week. Anything else, Andy, as far as music or concerts?
No, summer's winding up. We'll probably have in the next couple weeks our state fair music lineup. We'll get all that out there for you one day and see who's where. Not only the main stage, but at the state fair, they got multiple other stages going on too. You find other little bands there. They're almost just as fun to watch. Same bands you'd see playing at the patio at your bar. You know, so stuff like that are fun to go see.
And also a reminder, end of August up in Duluth is the Tribute Fest.
Yes. Well, more of that coming up the next couple weeks too.
That should be good. Get your tickets. See these guys. It's outdoor music, all tribute bands.
Yes.
All right. Have a good week, everyone.
See you.